I'm gonna be very upset if I go back to edit this video and I'm like unfocused. I think I'm focused. But anyways, this video is actually about something I've been wanting to talk about for like a while. Like, I've tried to make videos about it before, but I either didn't like what I was saying or how I was saying it, or my video was unfocused, pretty much. But anyways, this video is about journaling and how journaling can be like very therapeutic in my opinion, and it can really help you work through some emotional stress or just like things like that. It helps you like clear your mind in a way, I guess. I found it to be very helpful when I journal. I've been journaling for a while, but I was never like consistent with journaling until about like this year. And so now that I've been like consistent, like writing on a regular basis, it's really just helped me, and I thought I'd just share that with you guys. Yeah, but I use two journals, which sounds a little weird, but I'll explain. One is like it already has like the date. It's more like a diary, I guess. Like, it has a set date and you write in that date, and then you just go on and stuff like that. And then the other one's just like a blank journal. Not like a bullet journal. I'm not really into bullet journaling. I feel like that's a little too advanced for where I'm at right now, but it is like just a blank journal, like lined paper. It's this one. So yeah, you can probably get it at like Walmart or something. And then this is the other one. It's like a little book, and it comes in this cool protective like sleeve. But anyways, I'm going to be talking about this one first. It's actually called the 5 Years Diary. That's why it's a 5 and it says years and diary on it. Anyways, this is what it looks like. And then on the inside, it basically looks like this. Like, for example, this is the day, so January 3rd, and then there's like 5 slots. And basically, in this slot, you'd write the year and then what day of the week it is, and then you'd write about your day and whatnot. And then you'd go through, like, the next page is the next day. So you go through the whole book in 1 year. Basically, each page is a new day, and then each of the slots is one of the years. So after you go through the whole book, you start over and you go back to the front, and then you write the next day in the next slot. Does that make sense? Like, each slot is like a year. I hope that makes sense. So basically, you go through the whole diary or the whole journal in a year, and then when you start over, you can look back and see what you did that same day, the past year, or like the past 4 years and stuff like that. So you basically have like your whole day outlined over the 5 years. Like, I think that's really cool because you can see exactly what you were doing the year before on that day. And then at the very end of the book, like after December 31st, I'm trying to find it. It has a page called Epilogue, and it has like the same format, so 5 like little sections. And basically, I think this is a page where you just like, after the year's over, you kind of write like your reflections on the year, or like what you learned, things like that. And then you can also look back and see what you learned from other years and things like that. I don't know if you heard that, but that's like him. He's like sleeping, but he makes like weird noises when he sleeps. That was weird. But in the beginning, you also have a page called Prologue, which is the same format. It's like 5 little sections, and this is basically, I think, like New Year's resolutions type of stuff. So basically, like your goals for the year, or like your wishes, your hopes, things like that. And I just thought like the whole concept of this 5 years. Okay, Toby? But yeah, I just really like the whole concept of this diary book journal thing, because it really outlines like your day in a really like easy, convenient way, and it just puts it together so nicely. And even if you don't like writing, or you're not like a big writer, like the slots are so small, they're like 5 lines each. You just need to write like a little tidbit about each day. So I mean, there's not a lot of commitment here. I mean, it is 5 years, but like it's just like little bits of your day that you have to record, which I think is like super cool. And when I opened up like the book, it also came with this little note that said, it's okay if you don't write or you miss a couple days of writing, because then you can also like look back on those days and you can just remember like that you couldn't write or you didn't want to write. And so it's also something to like reflect upon if you don't write as well. So I also think that's really cool that they put that in there. So it's really just like you have no obligations, I guess. It's very, very cool in my opinion. Okay, so the next journal I use is this one. It's completely like blank, it's just lined paper. And this is for like if you're really going through something, or you just like have a lot of emotions, or you just got something on your mind and you don't know what to do. That's what this would be for. Basically because it's just like completely blank and there's just lined paper, it's just like you can write as much as you want and you can write like paragraphs about it. Whereas like in this one, you only write like a little bit each day. So I think this is more like a record of your day, like a little bit that you did each day, rather than like this is like if you really want to get your emotions out there and things like that. That's what you'd use this for. I'm like waving it around like no, but I really think that writing down like or venting your problems is a good way, because I think that if you have something like stuck on your mind a lot and you just don't know what to do about it, it's good if you like just start to write about your problem or what you're going through, because that it's just really good to write about your problem, because you can kind of get it on paper and it's like not so much in your head anymore. Like you kind of vented it out to yourself, and now that it's like not in your head anymore, it's on paper, you can kind of let it go and move on in a sense. At least that's how that's how I use my journal. Because if something is on my mind and I just can't stop thinking about it, I start to like write about it, and then once I like put it out there, I can just kind of let it go in a way. So that's also why I think journaling is like really good for like stress, and it can be therapeutic, because first of all, you're venting to yourself. Like you can be completely honest and you don't have to like think about what the other person is thinking or like their feelings, because it's like you're venting to yourself. But you can also just like, because it's like a blank journal and stuff, if you're not a good writer, or not a good writer, if you're not into writing and you just don't like the idea of writing your emotions and being raw with yourself and things like that, you can also just draw like pictures. I draw a ton of pictures, like any kind of like doodles, or like people are gonna probably like see this and know where that's from, but just like drawing random like doodles is also a way to like just let it out there without completely like explaining yourself, I guess. I don't know, but there's just so many different ways to journal, and drawing like pictures and doodles are just another way that it can like kind of help you release all of that emotional stress, I guess. I don't know if this is like making sense. I hope it's making sense. Another thing I want to touch on, especially because like my camera's about to die, but another thing I wanted to touch on is that I do believe that words have power, and I think that when words are in your head and you're just thinking about them, they have less power than when you write them or you speak them, because when you do either of those things, you're putting your words out into like the universe and the world, and they're like out here instead of like in here. I hope that made sense. So I also think that it's good to journal about like your goals and like what you want to achieve in life and things like that, because then it kind of structures it in a way, I guess, because they're not in your head anymore, they're on paper, you can kind of organize it better and things like that. So yeah, I do believe in all of that stuff, and putting your thoughts out into the world and speaking your mind and writing, and I really hope this video is like making sense. I feel like in the beginning it was making sense, and now it's just like me being like a little philosophical or something. But yeah, I do think that words have power, and I feel like they have more power when you write or speak. So I think that's something to keep in mind. But that is why I journal, and that is why I think other people should journal, and why I think it's so important when you're going through some kind of I cannot speak. That is why I think it's important when you're going through that is why I think journaling is so important when you're going through something emotional, or you just have a block. I think it's a good way to like get through it and move on, let it go, and also just realize what you want in life, and writing your wants and your desires, because of how much power words have. This video is really long now, and I can't really get too much into like all of the stuff I want to get into, but that's pretty much the gist of why I journal. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Yeah, I'll see you next time or something. Bye. Oh, there she is. She was like so confused.